Hello travelers, this is going to be an open reading for, I'm going to say, the first open reading of May. Never mind what you see up there. I'm using the Prism Vision Tarot, which I haven't worked with in a long time. And I didn't ask any questions to the tarot. I'm just going to open the cards and see what kind of energy is around. Particularly since we have all of these protests and rallies going on all over the world. The French people are now dealing with protests against the Olympics on the same day that they have students protesting against the Gazan war. So I already did some meditation. I did about 10 minutes of meditation before I came here. And so I'm not going to touch the cards. I don't need to shuffle them. I'm just going to open them and see what they say. If we need an oracle card at the end, I will pull one. So I won't even cut the deck. Let's just see what the cards say. The Five of Cups. The Emperor. There's our Martian energy that I was telling you guys about. Authority and power. The Six of Pentacles. The Tower. Death. The Magician. The Seven of Cups. Strength. And finally, the Eight of Swords. What is energy over the whole deck? Over the whole reading? The Ace of Pentacles. So what do I have? I have 2 cups, 1 pentacle, 1 sword, and this weird cross down the center of major arcana cards. And so the cups and pentacles and swords are on the outside. I have no wands. So let me take a look at the cards. The feeling that's coming off the cards is not good, because I'm looking at the cross here. And the way the cards are read are past, present, future. Past, present, future with the interplay of the cards. But this cross of major arcana, which represent spiritual lessons to us, does not give off good energy. I start with the Five of Cups. Basically, what we're looking at is a moment of sadness, perhaps throughout the world, what's happening. And a regret for how it used to be. Things have changed tremendously since we had the COVID. But even now, the media landscape is such that there's so much division and anger, not just in the media landscape, but we hear a lot. You see people behaving badly. People are not civil anymore, even to each other. So it's a nostalgia for what we have lost. With the Emperor, this card is representative of Mars. I wrote in my article yesterday, 2 days ago, or some days ago, I don't remember, about the protest was going to pick up because of the Mars Zero Aries. And this will go on throughout May. I don't know if any more protests are going to come up and what kind. But it really is a focus on attention about people's plights. At least they feel that way. It's a fire sign, so it's a lot of passion and heat, speed and energy. And make no mistake, anger can be a passionate emotion too. I even warned about the advent of a lone gunman appearing. I still stick by that. I think it was last night in the evening hours at UCLA. I think their two groups clashed and became very violent. So what you saw was the actual embodiment of Mars, the god of war. There were fireworks. They were beating each other over the head. And the situation is tense to where it can escalate and someone can bring a gun and use it. So, the Six of Pentacles, let me back up. The Emperor is also about reason, power, and authority. And the other side, people who are protesting are fighting against power and authority. And they're trying to reason what is going on. They each believe that their reason is right. The Six of Pentacles. This is not about finances. It's about doing something. So this is the spirit of cooperation, the spirit of giving. And each side wants their side to be right. I mean, you have hostages in Israel that haven't been released yet. Their family members miss them and love them. And you have the people who are protesting for Gaza who are saying that genocide is being created. So there is a sense of compassion on both sides, but neither side agrees with the way to handle it at the moment. Coming across this road, this is, I think, the most powerful road that there is. What we're talking about is, first of all, an upset. Sudden, unexpected. I think it has to do with the eclipse. What came over the horizon, we couldn't see this ahead of time. So this could be an event triggered by the eclipse. And incidentally, 56 years ago, we had Kent State. I wrote about that in an article on my Substack. So it's like history repeating itself. But it happened suddenly. Nobody saw it coming. It also spells chaos, disruption, violence, and a sudden change of beliefs. Whatever you believed before, it's going to change after this. That's the energy. And the death card. Now, normally we don't interpret death as actual death, but in this case, it is possible. What death really stands for is a complete transformation of a situation, or a complete transformation of your life. One way ends and another begins. But honestly, in this way, I think that there will be some people who lose their lives, unfortunately. It doesn't give me an indication of where or how. But that is a feeling coming off the card. So this is a duty to warn that there will be some loss of life at some point, somewhere, during this time of upheaval and rebellion and chaos. But I think the most interesting card is the Magician. If you look at the image, he is in relief against a full moon. And in his hand, he has a figure that he's playing with. And you have the trees, bare trees, against the full moon. To me, it represents a leader who is, for all intents and purposes, manipulating the people. You can take your pick of which leader is doing this, but there is some leader, I don't know which one, I won't say which one exactly, who is playing with people's lives. And he's making it seem as though everything is okay. But look at the size of him compared to the person he's playing with in the picture. Wait a minute. Look at him. So he dwarfs, maybe not in real life or in, let me say it like this. It's a real subtle energy. But he is in control of a lot of people's lives. That could be any leader. And so I think that we should keep an ear or an eye out on some news about a world leader or a country leader. Here is the Seven of Chalices. Confusion. Not knowing what choices to make. Not knowing what choice to choose. You have temptation, money, power, riches, peace, self-actualization. But the unknown thing is here. We don't know what to pick or what to choose from. There are so many things out there. Some of them are really distractions. And we are distracted at the moment. That's why I think strength has come out. Strength tells us to face our fears. Look them straight in the mouth and address them. You don't have to be mean or spiteful or rude or violent. You have to just simply face it. And I think we're going to need strength in the coming weeks with this spread. Because following that is the Eight of Swords. And underneath the Magician, to me, it speaks about the media. It's something we're not being told, always. At least they're not presenting it the way that it should be. And the words coming from the Magician here as a leader, what I hear with this combination of cards is, let's keep the facts away from them. As you can see, this card has a little figure, and he's crouched down behind 8 swords. And to me, the card says, it's worse than what we think. We're hiding from the truth. But Magician is controlling the truth. He is making up the narrative as he goes along. I don't know who this person can be. He may not even be identified yet. But he is the most menacing figure in the tarot. He's scarier even than Tower, even than Death. And I think with the students, what's going to happen is they're not going to get the deal that they're looking for. It's going to break down. Communication is going to break down. And this person is actively sowing confusion. So the only thing that makes sense to me is a cross. Reason, power, authority over death or a change in a situation, which is going to require strength. But I don't think that we have seen the worst of it yet. And whoever this person is going to come out and say some things that, for one thing, I think that, you know how my dad used to say, my dad was a civil rights attorney. He worked in Mississippi during the 60s. And my dad would always say, when you hear somebody speak, there could be a crowd of 50 people, and 49 of them will believe what he says. They'll take it as the gospel. But there's always one person in the crowd who knows the truth, or that what he's hearing is not true. And this, to me, is signifying that he is able to create confusion, and it's going to be full of lies. He will be openly doing it in the public. Look, I don't know what this means. I don't know who this person is. I don't even know when this will occur. But all I know is this person, whoever represents the Magician, is a dangerous individual. I don't think he's been identified yet. It's not 45. It's not Biden. It could be Putin. I don't know. I don't know who it is. but I don't like his stance on the card, the energetic stance. The Ace of Pentacles is talking about an opportunity to do something different. I don't know if this relates to the Magician. It does, because it's a 1. It's a pentacle. And all pentacles relate to the Magician. So this is about doing something a different way, taking a different tact. You see how the wall right there is built? So pentacles relate to actual working, doing something, building this wall. That's not what I'm talking about, building a wall, but I can say that too. It may be. And what do walls do? They put up a block against outside forces, and they contain things within, protect things within. And I think what the card is trying to say to me is the door will be open for somebody to walk in like that. You know, I had a bad feeling when I took the cards out. I haven't worked with them in probably 4 years. And that's why I chose them. I always ask the cards. I have a huge tub over here full of tarot cards. And I always go in the box and I ask which card, which deck wants to work with me. And this one spoke up. And I had a bad feeling when I took the cards out of the box that it was going to be a heavy message. And so I'm going to use the Khalil, I can't say it, Gibran Oracle cards. I think there can be some words of inspiration for this reading. Even he has some regrets about the way things are, but his regret comes from a different place. It's an emotion, yes, but it's coming from a different place. Like maybe his emotional center is coming from a different place. If you remember, Cups, I always interpret cards just to be emotions. Pentacles to be finances or the doing of something. Swords, thoughts, perception, communication, ideas, perceptions. That's another word that comes here. He's able to manipulate perceptions. And that's the shadow side of the magician. And literally, he's in shadow. So let's pull a card. It says, the visions of one lends not its wings to another. That's interesting. The vision of one leaves not its wings to another. I don't know what that's trying to tell me. Let me see. It's number 28. Teaching. The astronomer may speak to you of his understanding of space, but he cannot give you his understanding. The musician may sing to you of the rhythm which is in all space, but he cannot give you the ear which arrests the rhythm, nor the voice that echoes it. And he who is versed in the science of numbers can tell the regions of weight and measure, but he cannot conduct you there. For the vision of one man lends not its wings to another man. And even as each of you stands alone in the divine's knowledge, so must each of you be alone in the knowledge of the divine and his understanding of the earth. I hope that made sense. And so that's what I have for you this first week of May. I hope it helps. Until next time, bye.